Does anyone get rich selling that you know of? Get rich selling on Amazon?
Yeah, people still do get rich. I think a lot of Chinese companies have gotten rich as well. Pretty crazy statistic for you. Over 50% of the top sellers on Amazon are not American. Okay. Yeah. So in the US marketplace, like let's say 52% of the sellers are non-American. And of that 52%, the top sellers are of that 52%, they're predominantly Chinese. And the Chinese sellers, even though we're selling in the United States, even though it's our country, we should understand how marketing works here. It's our language. They just clean up. They do very well in terms of market share. They don't all make money, but many of them do. It's still possible to make money on Amazon.
You're not even describing the source of manufacturing. I mean, I think the number would be a lot higher than 52% if you were measuring where the stuff was actually made. But you're talking about the sellers.
Yeah, that's such an excellent point. So if you go back to like the 1970s, 1980s, we had a lot of manufacturers in our country. We were making things. All those factories shifted largely to China, some to Mexico, overseas generally. What's going on now is that the Chinese and other countries to some extent are kind of vertically integrating, and they're taking over the product design and wholesaling and distribution that had traditionally has been in the United States. Yeah. So once upon a time, you could buy from an American factory. Okay. And the American factory would sell its product to an American store, whatever. And then we had this transitional period where Chinese factories were selling to distributors who were selling to stores, or Chinese factories were selling to Target or whatever. What's happening now is the Chinese factories are selling directly on Amazon to U.S. consumers. And the net result of this, because the playing field is in the Chinese favor, and I can kind of explain why, is that the U.S. like wholesale distribution product design industry has come under threat from very tough, difficult competition from China. And so now, like, we lost our factories, and in my opinion, I think we're going to lose this middle part of our economy, largely to companies in China.
How does China have a structural advantage in this?
So for one, these Chinese sellers, they're selling on Amazon. They don't have to file U.S. Income tax returns. They don't have to worry about estimated taxes like we do. They're close to the factory, so they can iterate on products much faster. They have lower costs, and that's enough. They're less susceptible to lawsuits because they're overseas, and it's just, they may or may not have government subsidies, or just like, I mean, think about it. If you want to design a new product, isn't it a lot easier to like go down the street to the factory, talk to the guy, work that out, than it is to like communicate over video, fly to China, deal potentially with a quarantine and work that out in order to make something new. So the Chinese have a lot of advantages when it comes to selling on Amazon. And what's wild is like, we're sellers on Amazon. Whenever we get an email from Amazon, like the top part, it's in English, and then like the bottom part, it's all in Chinese, because so many sellers are Chinese on Amazon.
Amazing.